My dear friends, tell me honestly, when was the last time you paused, not for the world, not for your family, not for your responsibilities, but for yourself? We give pieces of our heart to everyone and then wonder why we feel empty. Today, I want to remind you of something precious. It's time to focus on yourself, not because you're selfish, but because you are human. When you keep giving and giving without stopping to refill yourself, something slowly starts to happen inside. You begin to feel tired in ways sleep cannot fix. You begin to feel irritated at small things, disconnected from people you genuinely care about, and heavy even when nothing is technically wrong. My dear friends, this is what happens when you're pouring from an empty cup. You try to offer patience, but inside you're exhausted. You try to offer kindness, but inside you're overwhelmed. You try to offer love, but inside you're running on fumes. You see, we've been taught since childhood that a good person gives endlessly time, energy, emotional support. And yes, giving is beautiful. But giving without balance is not kindness, it's self neglect. Even the most powerful river needs rain to stay alive. Even the brightest lamp needs oil to keep glowing. Why do we think our mind, our heart, our soul can survive without being refilled? Sometimes we blame people for not appreciating us, but the truth is, we haven't appreciated ourselves enough to say, I need a break, I need rest, I need space. We wait for others to notice our tired eyes, our heavy heart, our silent struggles, but people are too busy fighting their own battles. The responsibility to refill your cup is yours, not theirs. Imagine trying to comfort someone when your own heart is hurting. Imagine trying to support someone when you haven't supported yourself emotionally. Imagine trying to inspire others when you haven't felt inspired in months. It's like trying to give water from a well that has already dried up. When you start focusing on yourself, when you allow yourself moments of rest, reflection, and rejuvenation, the magic begins. Your energy becomes lighter, your voice becomes softer, your patience returns. Your smile becomes real again, not a mask. You start giving not out of obligation, but out of overflow. A full cup doesn't just help you live better, it helps everyone around you. A peaceful mind reacts less. A rested heart loves better. A centered soul guides others with clarity. So don't feel guilty for stepping back, for taking time, for choosing yourself. Because the truth is, when you take care of you, you take care of everyone connected to you. Refill yourself, restore yourself, reconnect with yourself. Only then will your giving become a blessing, not a burden. We grow up believing that saying yes makes us good, kind, and lovable, and saying no makes us rude, selfish, or disrespectful. And because of this, so many of us spend our lives agreeing to things we don't want, committing to situations that drain us, and carrying responsibilities that were never meant to be yours. But my dear friends, there comes a point in life where you must understand that every yes you give the world is a no you are giving to yourself. And if you keep doing that long enough, you lose the ability to recognize your own needs. Saying no is not an act of rebellion, it is an act of self-respect. It means you value your time. It means you value your mental peace. It means you value your emotional capacity. Yet so many people carry guilt for setting the simplest boundaries. They worry, what will they think? Will they be disappointed? Will they feel bad? But the real question is, do you feel bad constantly, sacrificing your peace just to keep someone else comfortable? Think for a moment, how many times have you said yes while your heart whispered no? How many times have you taken on work you didn't have time for? How many times have you accepted emotional burdens that weren't yours to carry? How many times have you sat in conversations, relationships, or situations simply because you didn't know how to decline? And each time, didn't a small part of you feel drained, resentful, exhausted? You see, boundaries don't push people away. They filter who truly values you. The people who genuinely care for you will understand your no. They will respect your limits. They will not take your boundaries personally. Only those who benefited from your lack of boundaries will be upset when you finally set some. And that truth alone shows you who belongs in your life. Saying no is not harsh. Saying no is honest. It is choosing peace over pressure. It is choosing alignment over approval. It is choosing authenticity over people pleasing. Because pleasing everyone is not love, it is fear. And fear always drains you, while truth always frees you. When you learn to say no, something miraculous happens. Your schedule becomes lighter. Your mind becomes clearer. Your heart becomes softer. Your energy becomes purer. You stop living reactively and start living intentionally. You stop being available to everything and start being available to what matters. You stop saying yes from guilt and start saying yes from desire. And let me tell you this, people respect those who respect themselves. People trust those who know their limits. People admire those who protect their peace. So don't fear the word no. Use it gently. Use it gracefully. Use it wisely. Because every time you say no to what drains you, you are saying a beautiful yes to your well-being, your clarity, your growth, and your life. There comes a moment in life when the noise around you becomes so loud that you can no longer hear your own heart. The world is filled with opinions, expectations, deadlines, comparisons, pressures, and endless distractions. Everywhere you turn, something is calling your attention. And in this constant rush, this constant movement, something sacred gets lost. Your connection with yourself. Solitude is not loneliness. Solitude is a meeting with your own soul. It is the quiet space where your thoughts finally breathe, where your emotions settle, where your inner wisdom rises to the surface. But we are so afraid to sit alone. We fear the silence because the silence reveals truths we have avoided for too long. It shows us our real desires, our hidden wounds, our ignored dreams. Yet, that silence is exactly what we need most. When you choose solitude over noise, you give yourself permission to stop performing for the world. You give yourself permission to take off the masks you wear every day. The strong mask, the happy mask, the I'm fine mask. In solitude, you don't have to be anything for anyone. You simply are. And in that authentic space, healing happens naturally. Think about it. How can you understand your direction when your mind is constantly crowded with the voices of others? How can you feel your emotions when you never give them space to speak? How can clarity enter when your life is filled with the noise of everyone else's desires except your own? Solitude is not a punishment. It's a gift you give to your inner world. It's the gentle pause that helps you return to life with more wisdom and strength. When you sit in quietness, something magical happens. Your thoughts stop fighting. Your heart stops running. Your soul stops shouting for attention. Everything becomes still, and in that stillness, answers start to appear effortlessly. The decisions you were confused about suddenly feel clearer. The emotions you were struggling with begin to make sense. The problems that felt heavy become lighter because you are finally seeing them without the fog of chaos. Spending time alone also protects your energy. When you keep engaging with noise, emotional drama, unnecessary conversations, endless scrolling, constant social interaction, your mental space gets polluted. You start absorbing stress that isn't even yours. But when you choose solitude, you cleanse your mind. You recharge your spirit. You return to the world calmer, stronger, and more centered. And let me tell you something, the people who truly love you will understand your need for solitude. They will respect the moments when you step back to breathe. They will honor your silence because they know it helps you return as the best version of yourself. Only those who depend on your exhaustion will get upset when you choose peace. Solitude is where creativity is born. It's where ideas grow. It's where you discover your purpose. It's where you hear the whispers of your intuition, the inner guidance that the noise of the world often drowns out. Without solitude, you live reactively. With solitude, you live intentionally. So learn to sit with yourself. Learn to enjoy your own company. Learn to walk alone sometimes. Learn to breathe in silence without feeling uncomfortable. Because when you master the art of being alone, you will never again feel lonely. Even in a crowded room, you will walk with a sense of inner fullness, a sense of inner peace, a sense of inner power that nothing outside can shake. Choose solitude over noise, not because the world doesn't matter, but because you matter too. There are wounds inside us that we don't talk about, not because they are small, but because they are deep. We carry them quietly, like invisible weights on our chest, and the painful truth is this: what you do not face will never leave you. It will return in different forms, through your reactions, through your fears, through your relationships, through your patterns. Healing doesn't happen with time alone. It happens with honesty. So many of us walk through life pretending we are fine. We smile, we work, we talk, we laugh, while inside something remains unresolved. Maybe it's a childhood hurt. Maybe it's a heartbreak. Maybe it's a betrayal. Maybe it's a failure that shattered your confidence. Maybe it's the feeling of never being enough. Whatever it is, it sits quietly inside you, shaping your behavior in ways you don't even realize. Unhealed pain doesn't disappear, it transforms. Sometimes it becomes anger, sudden, unexplained, overpowering. Sometimes it becomes fear, fear of trusting, fear of trying, fear of loving again. Sometimes it becomes distance, pulling away from people even when you want closeness. Sometimes it becomes perfectionism, trying to control everything because life once felt out of control. Sometimes it becomes emotional numbness. You stop feeling deeply just to avoid feeling hurt. This is why focusing on yourself is necessary. You cannot heal what you keep avoiding. You cannot grow while running from your own shadows. Healing begins the moment you stop saying, "It's nothing," and start saying, "Yes, this hurts, and I need to understand why." Facing your pain does not mean reliving it. It means learning from it. It means acknowledging what happened without letting it define who you are. It means giving yourself permission to feel, really feel, without judging yourself. So many people suppress their emotions because they think being strong means not crying, not breaking, not feeling. But strength is not suppression. Strength is honesty. Strength is sitting with your emotions without letting them destroy you. Strength is allowing yourself to be human. When you begin healing, you will notice something beautiful. The same situations that once triggered you will no longer control you. The same words that once hurt you will no longer shake you. The same patterns you kept repeating will start breaking. Healing doesn't change your past, but it transforms your future. And remember this: Healing is not a straight line. Some days you will feel powerful. Some days you will feel broken again. Some days you will have clarity. Some days you will feel lost. That is okay. Healing is not about speed. It is about sincerity. It is about showing up for yourself again and again, even when it's difficult. Forgive yourself for not knowing better before. Forgive yourself for what you tolerated when you were hurting. Forgive yourself for the times you stayed in situations that damaged your peace. Healing is not about blaming yourself. It's about freeing yourself. Sometimes healing also means letting go of people who hurt you, letting go of memories that haunt you, letting go of stories you keep repeating to yourself. You don't heal by holding on. You heal by releasing what no longer serves your heart. And let me tell you something important. Seeking help is not weakness. Talking to someone, sharing your story, journaling, meditating, praying, reflecting, these are signs of courage. Healing requires support, patience, and love. You don't have to do it alone. The moment you choose to face your pain, instead of running from it, your life begins to change. You become lighter. You become clearer. You become stronger. You start responding instead of reacting. You start choosing peace instead of repeating cycles. Healing is not a destination. It is an ongoing relationship with yourself. And when you heal, you don't just transform your own life, you transform the lives of everyone connected to you. Because healed people love better, think better, live better. So don't be afraid to face what hurts. Don't be afraid to open the doors you've kept locked for years. Inside those doors are the answers you've been searching for. Inside those doors is the version of you waiting to be born again, wiser, calmer, and more whole. This is your time to heal, your time to grow, your time to become the person you were always meant to be. One of the greatest prisons in this world is the fear of what people think. We are living in a time where approval has become oxygen, and without it, people feel they cannot breathe. But my dear friends, the truth is simple and powerful. The day you stop seeking validation from others is the day you truly begin to live. Think about how much of your life has been shaped by the desire to be accepted. How many decisions did you make not because they were right for you, but because they would please others? How many dreams did you bury because someone laughed at them? How many times did you shrink yourself just to fit into someone else's comfort zone? These are not small sacrifices. These are pieces of your soul you have been giving away silently. Validation is addictive. The more you receive it, the more you crave it. And slowly, without realizing it, you start doing things not for joy, but for applause. You start speaking not from truth, but from fear of judgment. You start living not from your heart, but from the expectations of others. And that is where the real suffering begins, because no matter what you do, someone will always criticize you. If you are silent, they will say you are weak. If you speak, they will say you speak too much. If you dream big, they will call you unrealistic. If you play small, they will call you lazy. You cannot win the approval of a world that changes its opinions every minute. The only approval worth seeking is your own. Imagine living a life where you don't constantly check who liked your choices, who clapped for you, who appreciated your effort. Imagine waking up and asking only one question: does this align with who I truly am? That is freedom. That is peace. That is power. The problem with validation is that it makes you dependent. You put your happiness in someone else's hands. When they praise you, you feel high. When they ignore you, you feel low. Your emotions become a roller coaster controlled by the reactions of others. But when you focus on yourself, you reclaim your power. You stop performing. You stop pretending. You stop living for the gallery. You start living for the truth inside you. Many people fear losing relationships if they stop seeking approval. But remember this: the people who only love you when you please them never loved you at all. Real people value your authenticity, not your obedience. Real people respect your choices, not just your convenience to them. And the moment you stop seeking validation, you attract people who are aligned with your real self, not your projected self. When you detach from others' opinions, you begin to grow. You start trying things you always avoided because you weren't sure what people would say. You start expressing yourself honestly without rehearsing your every word. You start saying yes with passion and no with confidence. You start stepping into your own path without constantly looking over your shoulder. And let me tell you something else. Validation is temporary. It feels good for a moment, but it fades just as fast. But self-respect, self-trust, and self-love, these last a lifetime. When you approve of yourself, the world's disapproval loses its power. When you trust your judgment, their opinions become background noise. You were not born to be liked by everyone. You were born to be true to yourself. And the world benefits far more from your authenticity than it ever will from your imitation of someone else. The universe does not need another version of the crowd, it needs you, the real you. So choose to live boldly, choose to speak honestly, choose to follow your own path, choose to stand firm even when voices around you shake, choose to value yourself even if others don't understand you. Because at the end of your life, you won't remember the opinions of strangers. You will remember whether you live true to your heart. Approval is a shadow, it disappears when the light changes. But your inner truth, that is the sun, constant, radiant, unshakable. Stop seeking validation. Start seeking alignment. Stop trying to fit in. Start trying to be real. Stop asking the world for permission. Start giving yourself freedom. That is when your life truly begins. Your mind is the home you live in every single day. You can change your clothes, your house, your city, but you cannot escape the reality you carry inside your own head. If your mind is chaotic, your world will feel chaotic. If your mind is peaceful, your world will feel peaceful. This is why nourishing your mind is not a luxury. It is a responsibility. It is the foundation of how you think, act, react, love, and live. Most people take better care of their phones than their mind. They clean the screen, update apps, delete junk files, but inside their head, they hold on to negativity, judgment, doubt, fear, jealousy, anger, and memories that no longer serve them. They scroll for hours, feed their mind noise, distractions, and meaningless content, then wonder why they feel empty, anxious, or lost. Your mind becomes what you feed it. It's that simple and that powerful. Just like your body needs good food to stay healthy, your mind needs good thoughts, good influences, and good information to grow. When you read meaningful books, your inner world expands. When you listen to deep, wise conversations, your thinking becomes clearer. When you surround yourself with positive people, your energy rises. When you engage in learning, your confidence grows because you begin understanding life with more depth and clarity. But what happens when you don't nourish your mind? You become vulnerable. You start believing everything you hear. You get influenced by every opinion. You become reactive instead of reflective. You get stuck in old patterns because there's nothing new entering your mental space. You live the same day again and again, without any growth, without any evolution. And slowly, without noticing it, your mind becomes cluttered, dull, and drained. Imagine a garden. If you don't water it, weeds will take over. Your mind works the same way. If you don't nourish it with wisdom, garbage will grow there. Overthinking, insecurity, fear, anger, confusion, unnecessary drama. And then you spend your whole life cleaning emotional messes that could have been prevented simply by feeding your mind better. When you nourish your mind, something extraordinary happens. Your perspective shifts. Problems that once felt huge begin to feel manageable. Challenges that used to scare you become stepping stones. Situations that once triggered you no longer shake you because your mind is strong, trained, and disciplined. A nourished mind is like a shield. It protects you from the chaos of the world. Nourishing your mind also increases your awareness. You start understanding why you think the way you do, why you react the way you do, and why certain patterns keep repeating. Wisdom gives you the power to break cycles that have held you back for years. It gives you clarity, and clarity is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself. Spend time with people who challenge your thinking, not just those who entertain you. Listen to voices that uplift you, not those that drain you. Read words that inspire growth, not those that add noise. Learn something every day. Even a single idea can change the direction of your entire life. And remember, nourishing your mind is not a one-time activity. It's a daily practice. Just like your body requires food every day, your mind requires nourishment every day too. Even 5 minutes of meaningful learning can have a greater impact on your life than hours of mindless scrolling. When your mind becomes stronger, your emotions become stable. Your decision-making becomes clearer. Your reactions become calmer. Your habits become better. Your relationships become healthier. Your confidence becomes unshakable. A nourished mind doesn't just help you survive, it helps you thrive. So feed your mind with wisdom, feed it with peace, feed it with clarity, feed it with dreams that excite you and truths that ground you. Because when your mind grows, everything around you grows with it. There comes a point in life when you must understand a simple but life-saving truth. Your mental peace is not a luxury. It is the foundation of your entire existence. Thus, without peace, even the most beautiful moments feel heavy. Without peace, even the people you love start feeling like pressure. Without peace, even success tastes bitter. Peace is not something you chase outside. It is something you must protect within. You see, your mind is constantly absorbing energy from conversations, from environments, from people, from responsibilities, from emotions you don't even realize you're carrying. And if you don't guard your peace, the world will drain it without hesitation. Not because people are bad, but because most people are struggling themselves. They spill their stress, their negativity, their chaos onto others, often without awareness. And if you don't create emotional boundaries, that chaos starts living inside you. Protecting your mental peace begins with this understanding. Not everyone deserves access to you. Some people bring clarity, warmth, and balance. Others bring confusion, drama, and heaviness. And the mistake many of us make is giving the same level of access to both. You let someone drain your energy again and again because you're kind. You allow someone to disrespect you because you're patient. You tolerate behavior that hurts your peace because you don't want conflict. But in the process, you create a war inside yourself. Mental peace requires courage. The courage to walk away from situations that disturb your balance, even if they are familiar, the courage to say, I need space. Even if someone doesn't understand, the courage to stop explaining yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you, and the courage to choose distance over drama, or the courage to prioritize your inner world over external excitations. There will always be people who judge you for protecting your peace. They will say you've changed. They will say you've become distant. They will say you're selfish. But remember, the people who benefit from your chaos will always resist your clarity. Those who were comfortable with you being drained will never applaud you for choosing peace. But peace is not for them. Peace is for you. When you begin prioritizing your peace, your whole life begins to transform. Your thoughts become lighter. Your emotions become calmer. Your decisions become wiser. Your relationships become healthier. Your purpose becomes clearer. You stop reacting to every comment, every insult, every misunderstanding. You stop carrying guilt for choosing yourself. You stop losing sleep over people who would never lose sleep over you. You stop giving your energy to things that don't grow you. You start living with awareness instead of anxiety. Peace also means letting go of what you cannot control. So much of our stress comes from holding on to things we have no power over. Someone else's behavior, someone else's opinion, someone else's choices. You cannot heal someone who doesn't want healing. You cannot fix someone who doesn't want change. You cannot force someone to appreciate your presence. And the moment you accept this truth, your heart becomes lighter, because peace blossoms in the space where control ends. Protecting your mental peace also means choosing your environment wisely. Surround yourself with people who speak gently, think honestly, and behave kindly. Be around those who inspire you, not those who drain you. Stay close to people whose presence feels like oxygen, not pressure. Life is too short to spend around energy that pulls you down. And most importantly, protecting your peace means protecting your relationship with yourself. Speak to yourself with kindness. Give yourself grace. Honor your limits. Rest when you are tired. Breathe when you are overwhelmed. Celebrate your small steps. Forgive yourself for past mistakes. You cannot have peace externally if you are constantly at war internally. Your mental peace is your power. It affects your health, your happiness, your relationships, your dreams, your behavior, your energy, your mindset, everything. When your peace is disturbed, everything else begins to fall apart. But when your peace is protected, everything else begins to align. So choose peace over pressure. Choose peace over people pleasing. Choose peace over drama. Choose peace over ego. Choose peace over noise. You deserve a life that feels calm inside, even if the world outside is chaotic. Protect your peace. It is the greatest gift you can give to yourself.